There it is, baby. There it is. There it is, baby. You know it. Paolo, show us the bathrooms. Show us the toilet, Paolo. This is the pivotal shot. We're watching Day in the Life of a Japanese Panko factory owner. We're back to Paolo, baby. I want to see Paolo go into bathrooms. I want to see Paolo examine Japanese bathrooms. I want to see Paolo up close and personal. I want to feel like I'm kissing him through the screen. Okay? Paolo is an old classic in this community. We used to watch a lot of his videos. You guys probably remember some of it. Maybe some of the new people don't know. But what new React meta? I'm like, we're doing fun day. Pachu Kapapi goes, I emailed my doctor 133 times. The crisis in the British healthcare system. What element of that is, what part of that is fun? Get another Hasanabi balloon meme. Let's watch a day in the life of the Japanese Panko factory owner. Wait, factory owner? What the fuck?
This is Sho, 43 years old, living in Tokyo. He wakes up earlier than most Japanese to start his workday.
We're gonna watch Lawman after
he lives
this,
with his wife and 2 daughters in his 2-story house, but sleeps in a separate room so not to wake them up in the morning. Sho and his wife both work full-time, so he shares the house chores like doing the dishes.
Like that, dude, this is pure Paolo right here. Look, this. That is a pure Paolo shot. A master of the craft. Do you understand? Other YouTubers will do day in the life content, and it never features like a person undressing from that angle. Okay? Paolo, on the other hand, goes the distance. Other YouTubers cannot go the distance. Paolo is in the distance. Okay?
Damn, you have a lot of records. How many do you have?
2000枚ぐらいかな。
Which one is your favorite?
一番好きとか一番ね影響を受けてるのは7インチのレコード。
Wow, lyrics are screen printed on the fabric. He says this DIY spirit is the same spirit he tries to capture when creating his Panko.
Wait, Panko as in like, isn't Panko the crust? Like the breadcrumbs, right? That you use to make like to fry chicken and shit.
Do you always eat bread in the morning?
自分たちで作ったパン。
Oh, he's working already. Being a father and a business owner himself, it's important for him to wake up early to maximize his day, reading, stretching, and organizing his daily tasks. Interesting, his house has an attic. Looks like he's preparing rain boots for his daughter.
God damn, dude. The level of organization that the level of organization that he's involved in is just like, I have to respect that dude. He is like, God damn. I mean, every part of his day is like, oh, I love that. Must be exhausting? No, it's not exhausting. It's actually very liberating for someone like myself, at least. Like that's like I have a very rigid structure throughout my day as well, but it like absolutely makes me feel way happier. It makes it so much worse if it's not like that. It like breaks my brain.
Sho's
This is
office
like very
only a
freeing.
10-minute walk from his house. Pretty rare in Japan. Every morning on his commute, he stops by the Inari shrine. This particular one is called Boga Inari, which is believed to protect its visitors from fires. Quite important for someone who runs his own factory.
Good morning, everyone. I'm back with another day in the life. This one I'm super excited for because we're going into a Japanese factory. Sho should be coming around the corner.
He's like, this guy's a factory owner, so I get to see all the bathrooms, including the VIP bathrooms.
Just now, let's see how his morning is.
Good morning.
おはようございます。
Did you sleep?
はい、今日はいっぱい寝ました。今日はお昼前からいろんなシェフたちが工場見学に来るので楽しみにしてます。
Sho is a third-generation owner of the
I am going to
Panko
Japan
factory.
soon, yes.
A family-run business started in 1948 by his grandfather. It's the only truly made-in-Tokyo Panko factory, baking their own bread to create a flaky breadcrumb commonly used as a crunchy coating in fried Japanese food. Their Panko is so highly acclaimed, it's used by 60% of the tonkatsu restaurants listed in Japan's Michelin Guide, as well as chains like Gyutan Negishi and even mom-and-pop stores. Many in the industry believe the Panko alone will make the restaurant popular.
おはよう。
おはようございます。
God, I love katsu chicken so much. I fucking love Sandos, bro.
おはようございます。坂林です。一本で、はい、わかりました。
So right after he arrives, he starts to organize today's orders since clients place their orders overnight in many different ways: online, phone call messages, emails, line messenger, SMS, and even fax. It's amazing how flexible he is with his customers and shows how committed he is to customer service. Did you originally want to inherit the business?
まあ、都合とは思ってた。親が働いてる姿って見る機会ないじゃないですか。でも商売やってると自分の父親が働いてる姿見てきてるし。
He would even sit in the truck with his dad during deliveries. The Panko factory was such a large part of his life. When he was a kid, he drew a layout of it, which still hangs in the office today. And that's his brother. He's the Kojocho, aka factory manager. After he finalizes today's orders, he assigns delivery drivers. Drivers locate the products on the shelves and refrigerators and load their trucks accordingly. This machine prints out the dempyo, in English, an itemized sales slip, which is given to customers at the time of delivery. In Japan, many businesses are still paper-based, so this form of receipt is absolutely necessary. Now, Sho prepares cash for
What is the purpose of that? Like, does anyone in here know why they do that? Because, like, that just sounds insane. Like, that sounds insane. Paper trail? No. Brother, you can have a paper trail. You can have a paper trail that isn't in this format. Like, you could just have data that takes up less space, easier to fucking browse through. Yes, they're still largely cash because their system of economics isn't based around debt. I love that, but like, bookkeeping is insanely difficult for this if you do it like this.
deliveries. Even these days, many of his clients still prefer to pay in cash, so all of his delivery drivers must carry enough to make change. Wow, that looks so old. Are you still using this?
この金庫は一応お金は入ってないけど、家紋。
Ah, a kamon, a Japanese family crest passed down from his ancestors. Now, the morning workers are lining up to stamp.
I think one of the wildest parts about this is that this dude is literally born into a factory owning family and he still lives in like a normal ass fucking house, like inside of an apartment, and like goes to work at 5 a.m. This is not the average normal factory owner experience. Then again, in America, who the fuck owns a factory really at this stage? Everyone that owns factories just own it in the stock market. This is like closer to a early stage industrial revolution style boss management and laborer employer employee relationship. You know what I mean? Kind of crazy.
Their time cards, a very common practice in traditional Japanese companies.
That dude's apartment's probably 4x worth your place. Yeah, probably. You're right. Yeah, look, that's the greatest point. Elon is the richest man on earth, and the motherfucker tweets all day. You think this motherfucker has time to tweet all day? It doesn't seem like it.
While they're doing that, Sho works on organizing stock in the factory. As an owner, it's important for him to be involved in all
Like, I know for a fact that he's probably hamming it up a little bit more than what he normally does in his day of work, you know? Like, you know his ass ain't doing that every fucking time, right? This is like a packed day, but I highly doubt that he just like sits around on his ass and just like is tweeting all day like fucking Elon Musk does.
aspects of the business, large or small. He even makes time to clean toilets, despite daily cleanings by staff. Some Japanese believe that the act of cleansing toilet also cleanses one's malevolence, so you'll find
There it is, baby. There it is. There it is, baby. You know it. Paolo, show us the bathrooms. Show us the toilet, Paolo. Another, if Kubrick has the famous Kubrick stare, Paolo has the famous Paolo stare, and this is the pivotal shot. Okay? This is a classic. The toilet shot is unironically a Paolo classic that I've never seen any other YouTuber even engage in. Okay? They are too afraid of the toilet shot. Paolo goes the distance. This is what I mean, dude. Fuck, he's so awesome.
Find many successful business owners participating in this activity. What did you do before becoming a Panko factory
その
owner?
前は大学卒業してずっと飲食業やってました。とんかつ屋の修行を終えて中屋パン粉に戻ってきた。
Now, Sho goes back to his office tasks, replying to emails and texts, as well as other administrative work.
So it looks like Sho has a little bit more office work to do. So while he's doing that, let's take advantage of this time and explore this place. So let's go up to the second floor and let me show you where all the magic happens. But in order to do that, I'm gonna need to
Yeah,
check.
he must be tweeting. That's why he sat on the desk, right? He's got to be tweeting. At some point, he's just going to be tweeting a lot. Because that's what I know from my American capital owners is that they just tweet all day, sit on their fucking asses.
So let's do that right now. All right, good to go. Let's go do this. Now that I'm all suited up, let me show you how the bread making process begins.
150 years ago from the Meiji period, Japanese used sliced bread to make panko, a Japanese word, pan meaning bread and ko meaning powder. Many panko producers use commercially made bread, but Nakaya Panko craft their own bread at their factory, creating 50 different types of panko every year with their own unique textures and flavors. First step,
I'm sure he's going to have a meeting later where he's like, why are my tweets not getting enough interactions? And then when they tell him it's because you fell off, sir, he'll fire him, you know?
is to make the dough. The workers mix water, yeast, and flour, then add salt and sugar, and then knead the mixture. After that, they add oil and knead it again. Interestingly, depending on the weather that day, the workers adjust how long the dough is fermented, as well as the amount of yeast added in order to produce an identical product. Also, since flour producers update their harvest each year, the factory needs to readjust their ingredients and process each time. It's very much an art of its own to craft a consistent and high quality panko each and every day. This machine receives a kneaded dough and separates it into smaller clumps. And then the dough rests here for about
I would eat that shit raw. I don't give a fuck.
15 to 20 minutes. After it cycles through, it then drops down this chute to be flattened. Finally, the dough is rolled and placed into metal pans by hand. Now, the dough needs to sit in a fermentation room, which is set to 90% humidity. I guess my camera's not going in there. After this, the baking process begins. How long does it take to bake this bread?
パンを焼くのはだいたい50分ぐらい。
The factory produces 1,800 loaves of bread per day. And the loaves vary in texture and shape depending on the end product. For this particular cycle, before the bread gets shredded into small pieces of panko, the workers must remove the crust by using an automatic slicer. The bread itself doesn't come out of the oven in perfect form, so usually there will be crusted sections like this, so workers remove these spots by hand. Now that all the crust has been removed, the bread is processed through this specialized machine. It shreds the bread into small pieces which are passed through these metal nets. The holes in the nets vary in size.
All right, Paolo, stop fucking around. Show us the bathroom that the workers use. Come on. You know it. I know it. We both want to see it. You want to see it. Show us the bathroom, dude. I'm sick and tired of this bread making process. I got it. You know, they're making the bread. They're cutting the crust. How do they take shits?
Size, which ultimately determines the size of the panko. Apparently, they use about 1.3 tons of flour to make 800 kilograms, or about 1,760 pounds of panko each day.
So they not only sell panko here, but they also provide an assortment of ingredients so that when their customers come, they can buy panko as well as cooking ingredients. Kind of like a one-stop shop. Pretty convenient. Just over there, it looks like they have some deliveries. Let's go check it out.
The factory ensures that the crust doesn't go to waste and donates it to be used as food to raise pigs and chicken.
That's fire. I couldn't have been the only one who was thinking that. What do they do with the crust?
で結構非常に感動してくださって
Oh, they're having chode, a typical Japanese meeting held every morning before work starts. In this meeting, the factory staff review tasks for the day, as well as any issues that need to be addressed. Now, Sho goes around the factory floor to perform a quality inspection. It's important for him to talk directly with the workers to get feedback on the condition of the bread. Sho, can I make panko today?
いいよ
So check it out, y'all. They actually let me make my own panko. So you gotta break it up just like this. That's awesome.
Wow, I made the perfect panko. What's that?
これうちで作ってる特殊な小麦粉とんかつを作るときにお肉とパン粉をきれいにくっつけるための特別な粉です
So what's next?
これから工場見学の人たちが来ます
Do you have a visit every day?
工場見学は毎日はないけど見たいっていう人がいれば
They even have students visit once a year. Today, chefs from an Italian restaurant, Knock, are visiting to learn about Sho's panko. Oh, they brought temiyage, a gift to say thank you. In Japanese business culture, it's customary to give such a gift when someone is doing something for you.
結構高温でやってやっぱり茶色みが中が赤いものと合うっていう
That's one of his latest creations. Godspeed you, Black Panko. During the
Okay, that's not very traditional. I don't know if I fuck with that.
factory visit, Sho's brother details how the panko is produced, explains the different types, as well as shares tips on how to use it during cooking. Now it's time for the tasting. What is your favorite food?
一番好きなの一番好きなのねラーメンかなラーメンでもとんかつは大好きだけど純粋に食べられない全部仕事になっちゃう
I don't believe that he drives the fucking factory truck to do hand deliveries. Like I don't think so. He's hamming it up. There's no way.
Combined with
Do you think he cleans the bathrooms, or did Paolo beg him to do it? No, I believe he cleans the bathrooms. I don't know if he actually does the deliveries himself, or if he's hamming it up, but I do believe he cleans the bathrooms 100%. At least once a week or some shit. 1,000,000%. No, dude, it's customary, and also on top of that, it shows like it basically is to show that like you are at the same level as the employees. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it shows humility. Exactly. It shows humility to the other workers. Isn't it also like wait, I might be wrong on this, but I remember reading a long time ago, maybe I'm mistaking this, but isn't Japanese culture also one where you are supposed to clean up after yourself at any given moment? Even if there are no fucking trash cans anywhere, you have to pick up your trash and you could never throw it. But also on top of that, like even in school, you clean your desk. You clean the living space that you are supposed to be in yourself specifically. So, because I remember people thinking, I remember people talking about this with like, I remember reading something about the Marxist answer to like how do you solve the problem of like who's gonna do less meaningful work, like janitorial duty, right? And this is like this is an issue in like Western nations where division of labor has created a process where you have someone who does the sanitation specifically, right? And from what I understand, like I remember people bringing up the Japanese culture of like cleaning your own living space personally, which is really interesting. Yeah, who cleans the toilets in your own house? You, motherfucker. Exactly. Having a sense of ownership over your own space, make sure it stays clean because people are less likely to dirty things if they feel like it belongs to them, unlike my dirty ass high school bathrooms, lol. Comes from Bushido, aka Confucianism. TLDR, everyone is raised to treat their responsibilities seriously so that society and flow. This absolutely is a step in the process. It eliminates rugged individualism because it makes everyone responsible for the space you inhabit. It is unironically a great thing about their culture. Yeah. Bushido is made up. It's an aspect of collectivist culture, and it is a good mindset overall.
With other ingredients to produce an end product like katsu and fried fish. So Show works diligently.
For that reason, I do believe that he definitely avoids the top of the hour ad breaks by not only subscribing, but in a collective manner, gifting subscribers. Okay? Here is the 3-minute ad break now, as a matter of fact. Ty Bright, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Also, remember, he's rich, but not that rich. I mean, he's pretty fucking rich in comparison to, like, Japanese society, but I feel like, okay, here's the other thing I'm going to say. Jeppy Jij, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Anonymous, thank you for the 5 gifties. Bamboy X9, thank you for the 5. In a lot of instances, in a lot of countries where there's like, in a lot of countries where there are vast social safety nets, he inherited basically a fail-proof factory. Yeah, but even then, I feel like what you would consider, Japan is not the only collectivist country. USA is not the only country in the world. Wait, what? I have never, first of all, I'm not even from here, okay? I've lived here for more than 10 years now, but like I'm very familiar with people being motivated by things other than like selfish individualist desires. I never said that. Anyway, but also on top of that, what I was trying to say is rich people in countries like this are not rich in the same way that you understand rich people in a country like the United States of America. Especially in countries where the income and wealth disparity is much, much larger. So there is a robust service sector. Turkey being an example of a country where there is massive income and wealth inequality. When you're living in a country with massive income and wealth inequality, the wealthy people, upper middle class and above, literally live like God kings, like the United States of America. Okay? So the lifestyle choices, the culture that is defined on top of the material realities for people who are capital owners and those who are laboring are dramatically different, or the disparity is dramatically different in countries like the United States or even like Turkey, as a matter of fact, in comparison to other countries where there is less of a difference between like the wealthiest and those who work in decent jobs that pay well, that give you like meaningful wages, even if you work yourself to the fucking bone, basically. Okay? What rich neighborhoods in Tokyo are like? Yeah. Like, for example, greatest example I can give you. No rich person in America is walking. One, because there's no fucking walkable cities. No rich person in America is living in a neighborhood or in an apartment complex where they're even like near other human beings. Okay? Like even in New York, wealthy people end up living in like brownstone apartments where they basically take over the apartment for themselves. Do you see what I'm saying? Or apartment complexes where it is rare for you to even experience another human being. Or they move away. Like a lot of rich people in New York, a lot of millionaires, for example, want that level of privacy, so they move to fucking Connecticut. You know what I mean? I think mainly because the Western world lost the chivalry code. What? Rich fucking LA don't even have sidewalks around their mansions. I mean, yeah. Well, not just rich neighborhoods that don't have sidewalks in Los Angeles. It's just most neighborhoods or decent sidewalks. So That's what I'm saying. And like the city planning, the public transit, everything else revolves around those cultural norms. But those cultural norms were originally designed in the way that they were designed for a reason. Diverse income neighborhoods foster a better sense of community. Okay? Not to sound too much like one of those orange-pilled, like, sock them motherfuckers out here that have a globe emoji on their Twitter handle, but that is literally the case.
To understand his customers' needs in order to produce the highest quality product possible. To do this, it's critical for him to often meet with customers to see how his Panko is being served.
Japanese elite separate themselves for sure. I mean, it's still capitalist. And no, I would never compare Korea to Japan. Come on. South Korea as a nation state was designed by Americans, okay? Every aspect of South Korean culture is nearly identical to like American capitalist attitudes. We are not comparing South Korea to Japan, even though Japan also has long-standing traditions that have stood in the face of a lot of, you know, American intervention and American involvement. No, I'm not saying Japan doesn't have that. They do. They definitely do. Okay. But there's still a lot of there's still one sometimes xenophobic resentment to outsiders, and two, a profound sense of importance placed on tradition that fights against the corrosive influence of capitalism. Not that Japan is not capitalistic. Obviously, it's a fucking dystopian society where people die because they are overworked and kill themselves and shit, and they're incredibly alienated and incredibly isolated. But there are still aspects of their existence that instill collectivist thought, collectivist action, and I think that comes from maybe even being like an island nation. And the principles of self-reliance that comes from being an island nation. You know what I mean? Which is why you get to a situation where you have like a fucking factory owner delivering boxes himself or cleaning the toilets as an act of solidarity almost, or to show that he too is a part of this larger like larger system. I will never be able to convince an American that a Japanese boss genuinely cleans his toilet. You will not believe that. I know. It's like unimaginable to think. But that attitude is instilled in the population from pretty much birth.
The first stop is in the high-end area of Nishi.
In America, when a boss does it, we put it on TV as a joke and call it undercover boss. Yeah.
Azabu.
だけじゃなくてうなぎとか牡蠣とか2日間しか取れないっていうそのプレミア感。
The next stop is a wood-fired oven Wagyu steak restaurant, Forno, in Nishiazabu. What are you doing now?
これから打ち込みミックスを使ってメンチカツの衣付けをやります。このパン粉っていうのがよく見るところ形状が違うんですね。ここは薄いのにここはたっぷり、丁寧に叩いてあげる。
Not only does he deliver orders, but he also provides private instructions at the customer's request. He knows his panko better than anyone, so he's able to share detailed preparation methods to chefs from high-end restaurants to mom-and-pop tonkatsu shops in order to bring out the full potential of his panko's taste and texture. During the instruction, they use his uchiko mix, which is a blended powder to coat food before dipping it in an egg, as well as special techniques on how to produce a crispier and ultra-textured menchi crust.
これはもったいないなと思うんだけど、これは美味しい揚げ物をするための必要な余分です。
Wow, that looks so crispy. You can even see that the panko with added technique produces a unique, spiky stalagmite-like crust. Now back at the office, he needs to refocus on sales.
お世話になります。赤いパン粉の若林です。あれだと細かすぎる。
Wow, it seems like he missed many calls while he was out.
シートなのこれ。
そうで
After finishing his sales task, he has a strategy meeting with his brother about new business opportunities. Apparently, they started an antimicrobial and antivirus coding service for restaurants as well. Yay! Finally finished! Oh, is it for the dust?
いやなんとなく終わりましたっていう。
But it doesn't taste better than Carl's Jr., brother. No shot it does. Do they got jalapeno poppers in Japan, huh? No, they don't? Well, that's not a free nation then, is it? Maybe we should have done another atom bomb to make sure they got the jalapeno popper memo, if you know what I'm saying. He's got Carico chicken.
Aw, so cute. His girls sure miss Daddy. He usually can't make it home on time to have dinner with his family, so he has dinner alone. But that karage his wife made sure looks good though, and it looks like his girls love to share in Daddy's meal.
Aw.
ボール
So after dinner, Sho will probably go and hang out with his family, take a bath, play with his daughter.
Dude, get in there, Paolo. You know you want to. He's gonna get in the bath and we're gonna watch.
And probably then just go to sleep at 11:30. So that's pretty much the day in the life of a Japanese Panko factory owner. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
We get to see bath
If you
time.
guys like this video,
Yeah, the video was great. 7 out of 10, no bath time.